Podcast. Welcome to the Broke Man's Podcast. We ask that you like, comment, and subscribe if you are on YouTube so that we can continue to push our message out there and let people know that they are not alone and have these awkward and meaningful conversations that are needed. If you're on Spotify, please refer a friend, send it out. And on YouTube, the link below will take you to our store where you can purchase merchandise, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, crop tops, however you feel, to support the podcast and allow us to move forward and build more. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if you have any topics for podcasts or any subjects that you want to be talked about on the podcast, please send us a comment, email us, send us a message on our Instagram. Go follow us on every social media platform. And when we get that message about a topic you would like to bring up, if you like, we will also mention your name. And then we will have that important conversation. Thank you for listening. Welcome to the Broke Man's Podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whichever part of the world you are in. Today I have with me Josh. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
And I am going to give gratitude towards processing. Learning how to process emotions and learning how to actually deal with them and let them run through your body. I am grateful for the ability to cry when I need to. I think crying is is it a coping mechanism?
I think so, yeah.
It's a good one for me. It helps me process a lot.
Well, it's good also to let that emotion out too.
Yes.
Instead of bottling it up.
Absolutely.
I'm grateful for opportunities and waiting for them to come and not forcing it and just waiting for that to happen naturally.
I like that. I wanted to give a couple of affirmations. I am patient. I am strong. I am growing. And I think. Today we're going to get into venting. And Josh, would you like to give us a definition of venting?
Venting is expressing an emotion through proper outlets.
Okay. What's a proper outlet for venting? What's one of them?
Talking to someone and going through and speaking on those emotions.
I would agree. When venting, and now that I've learned the power of venting, I like to make sure I am in a safe space.
Yeah.
So I need a very safe space, and I need a friend and somebody that I can trust because I don't want any judgment for what I'm about to say.
Well, and that's important too, because a lot of times when you're venting, that's usually your knee-jerk reaction to whatever happened. And so sometimes you're saying things that you don't actually fully mean because you don't understand the whole situation.
You really don't. And I can give an example of that, of speaking out of emotions when you're just trying to vent and realizing in the middle of me talking, I was like, oh, I'm venting. I don't need your advice.
Yeah.
Please don't take this seriously. This is me getting down to the actual root of what is happening. So these next few paragraphs that are coming out of my mouth is just gibberish.
Just gibberish.
And trash, because I really don't mean it, especially if it's in emotional heightened state.
Right.
And I'm not at homeostasis or anything. I'm just venting to get down to the bottom of it. And it really does work that way.
It does. And I mean, that's usually how it works, is you just need to be able to get that off your chest to someone.
You ever been in a relationship when you're going, if you've ever went off on somebody and then you get down and you're done, you're like, oh shoot, I had nothing to do with it. I'm getting down to the bottom of it. Like, oh man, okay. That's when you learn venting is a good process. So instead of taking it out on someone, go vent about it.
Well, yeah, and it's always finding someone that you can vent to.
Yeah,
that's not going to hold those words against you in the future. Or even worse, if you're venting about someone else, that they go to that person and tell them what you said, because it's like sometimes you're not fully even like meaning a lot of what you're saying. And so that can ruin a relationship that you were not intentionally trying to ruin.
Trust is needed in venting. If you're a friend and somebody's coming to you to vent, listen and keep it between you two. Because a lot of times when that person that is venting to you, most of what they say that is coming from their mouth isn't real and it isn't truth.
Right.
It is just venting.
It's just that initial reaction.
Yeah, initial reaction, initial emotional reaction, and they are trying to fight and claw their way through and comb through all of those emotions to get down to the center of what is really going on inside their own mind. And they need safe spaces. And as friends, we provide each other with that safe space. Yep. As soon as you tell me something, I don't go out and be like, hey, guess what?
Guess what? Yeah, look, guess what Gary
He just told me something.
No, and that's the thing, that because you need to find those people that you can trust and to be able to just let that off. Because if you sit there and let that build, it eventually affects your everyday life, how you react around other people, the things you're even saying. It comes way worse.
It becomes way worse. And if you don't get to vent those thoughts trapped in your head, man, you get paranoid. Your personality in a way starts changing because you're so paranoid and looking over your shoulder.
Yes.
And when those wires are crossing in your head, you can have an emotional outburst.
Yes.
That you don't mean.
Yep.
Because you didn't let it out in a healthy way. You didn't talk about it. And now you're overthinking.
Yep.
and having all these questions. It goes a long way if you don't vent.
Yeah, it does. It can ruin future relationships with people that you don't even realize you're ruining because you have this anger that you just have keep building and building instead of letting it release.
And that little anger turns into a lot of frustration. And a lot of frustration, it can turn into a fight, an argument, a breakup when there's no breakup that is needed. And you could take it out on somebody just because you haven't been letting those emotions process the correct way,
right?
And you haven't been venting about it.
No, yeah.
It is for me, it's such a necessary process. That's why when I tell you guys, like, listen, let me just talk real quick.
Right, yeah.
This is not serious. You're gonna look at me like, Gary, what the F?
Yeah, right. But it's only because you need to get that off your chest.
Yeah, I need to get it off my chest. I need to think.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly healthy to do. It's just that people, especially men, find it unhealthy to do because a lot of times people are like, well, it's talking shit or it's whatever. But there's a clear difference between venting and talking bad about someone.
Yes.
There is a huge difference.
It is. And I know when I come to you guys, I always, hey, just hold on. I got an intrusive thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some intrusive thoughts. Yeah. And I do say stuff that's off the wall, and you guys are always like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, just intrusive thoughts, bro. Let me share them. I can't share them with other people.
Yeah.
So let me share them with you guys. And we have a good time laughing about it because we have a great understanding. And because of that, I feel a lot better, to be honest with you.
It feels so much better to get it off your chest.
It does, because a lot of our intrusive thoughts, other people do share them, but nobody likes to actually speak about them.
No, that's right. And sometimes they'll just be like, oh, I don't actually have those. You know, they pretend like they don't have any intrusive thoughts or...
As people and as men, we have a lot of intrusive thoughts, and I need other men I can share this with. As you see, I do all the time.
Yeah.
I do all the time. Or do I act on any of those intrusive thoughts? Absolutely not.
No.
But I want to speak about those so I could be understood and heard. Like, hey, I'm not crazy. I just need to share this so it doesn't just stick in my head and become real.
Right. And then you're just like, oh, man, am I crazy because I think this? No one else is thinking this, when it's like, oh, there's other people thinking it too. They're just not willing to say it.
Yeah. And then you guys help me navigate those thoughts as well and help me process those as well, because I let you guys talk freely to me as we're going, because it's a safe space. Yeah. And you guys never, well, you guys do that. You guys don't judge me. You make fun of it. And it's funny. And we have a very good time doing that. Because when I'm around you guys, there are no walls up because I could trust you guys. I'm like, hey, we've been through a lot in life. I feel good enough to speak about anything. And most of the time you guys are like, bro, what do you say?
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. To me, it's always fun to like laugh about something, make light of it, even if it's some crazy off the wall intrusive thought, because it's like, what?
And I have a lot of them. And I do share them with them even when they don't ask. Yeah. And we laugh.
That's true.
And I did it yesterday.
Yeah. So it's just always more fun to make a joke out of it, I think, just because then you know that the people around you aren't holding it against you. Like, they're also like, hey, that's okay. And to show it's okay, we're going to make a joke of it.
How often do you find yourself needing to vent?
Kind of depends. You know, usually it's good to vent about the day in general, but it's usually after a very high stress situation or someone that I'm not too fond of makes an off the wall comment. But yeah, usually it's good to vent daily just because to go over your day.
And we are able, because we are fortunate enough to work with each other and whatnot, we do vent. And there's little pockets here and there, 1 minute here, 1 minute there. I'm like, oh, okay, we feel better.
Yeah.
And the days go a lot smoother because we know we have each other around.
Yep.
They do. And I just thought about that. They go a lot smoother.
Yeah, they do. Because you know you have someone that you're working with that you can trust completely. Like when something happens and you're coming, just like the other day.
I was just about to say
The other day, you came in there and I was literally tapping everyone out. I said, get away, Gary's here. Get away, Gary's here. He's got this. Everyone out. Because I knew the minute we left, you had the situation handled.
Yeah.
But that's having complete trust. Same thing with Levi. You know, I know he's going to walk away with someone. I know he's got that situation by himself.
There's no questions else for me when it comes to that with you guys.
Yeah.
And so when it's venting, I have fun with it.
Yeah.
I'm serious because I know I have such a safe space and you guys understand that we all go through something and we need that.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
We need that. Yeah. And believe it or not, most of the stuff I vent to you guys about, it helps me process all of it. And I hit baseline very quickly because of it. So I'm very grateful for that from you guys.
Yeah, no.
And it helps.
It does.
Yeah, because every time you guys come over, I got something else to say.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because like you say, when we're at work and there's something happening, it's nice to like bounce something off of one of you guys and just be like, okay, now I can kind of calm down because I've been able to get this off my chest that I've just been holding on to because I feel like I can't speak to some other people I'm around.
And thank goodness, there's no judgment at all.
Yeah.
No. There's no judgment at all. And I'm very fortunate to have men like you guys. There's no judgment, man.
Yeah.
And then most of the time you guys add on to what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Usually, yeah.
Usually you guys add on to what I'm talking about. So it makes it fun. It makes it enjoyable. Yeah. And that process is a lot easier.
It does. It makes it so much easier.
It does.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that opportunity. And go ahead.
I was just saying that's a lot of times because they're not willing to open themselves up to other people. Because they're like, well, a lot of it's like, oh, well, so-and-so in the past broke my trust in this situation. And they're just stuck on that past.
And it's a lot of times like, how can you think that way?
Yeah.
That's holding judgment.
Yep.
No judgment. I have no judgment.
No. That's I think
complete understanding.
Yeah.
Speak. Like when people come to you, I know, speak. I understand. These are just crazy thoughts flying in your head. Get them out before they become real.
Right. Because if you don't get them out, then you may act on some of those thoughts and it ends up bad. Very bad.
And you need to figure out for yourself, hey, is this wrong or right?
Right.
And that's when venting comes in handy. So it's very, very necessary. What's another way to get out? What's another way to vent?
I think another way to vent personally would be like to journal when you're by yourself, because that's putting your thoughts down on paper and seeing those thoughts is also helping you vent because then you can reprocess through them after you see them.
You're writing them, you are writing them down, you are seeing them, and you are reading them.
Yes.
It's like 3 different ways. And man, having that way to process for yourself to get to know yourself better.
It's huge.
It is huge. You understand yourself more.
Yeah.
Because people forget how much it takes to actually understand who you are as a person.
Well, and that's the other thing is a lot of people aren't even comfortable with who they are as a person because they haven't been able to sit down with themselves and
be real.
And be real.
I teleport. I tell people, let me rephrase this. I speak a lot about understanding self and how important it is. And understanding every move you make, every thought that you have, why? So you can calm the chatter down in your head. And when you calm that chatter down in your head, you can actually move forward and think.
Yes.
You can actually have inner dialogue at your command. A lot of times, I remember when I was younger and voices everywhere. Couldn't control any of it. I'm like, bro, what is this? And when you're able to sit, and I've learned it through meditation. I've learned it through an immense amount of journaling, and I've learned it through safe spaces of venting, and I've learned it through exercising as well. And I've learned it through artwork, the beauty of artwork. It just, all of those spaces are spiritual, very spiritual. And I've learned about myself so much through all of that, and it's all needed and it's all very necessary, and it all helps me actually figure things out so I can make decisions quicker, so I can calm the voices in my head down and all the chatter. it's lowered.
Yeah.
Now I can sit in meetings and I can talk to myself and I can hear one voice. I'm like, okay, this is how I'm going to respond because I can hear it up here.
Yeah.
And that inner dialogue like that, rather than 1,000 voices, different thoughts here and that. Every now and then it comes back up because I'm still learning. But for the most part, I could think things through clearly because of that.
Yeah, that's understanding yourself completely.
Yes.
And then utilizing those forms of creative expression. Because all the things you listed were other forms of creative expression when you think about it, which a lot of guys are too afraid to do because it tends to make them feel weak.
It's made me stronger.
Yeah, that's the truth. It does make you stronger because you are able to understand yourself, and then you're able to figure out how you can better yourself from that.
And you're able to move exactly how you want to.
Yes.
You don't let others dictate that. You don't let your emotions dictate that. Mm-hmm. You don't let your emotions move you every which way.
Right.
You don't let somebody else, because other people can make you move. External forces can make you move a certain way.
Yeah. Well, people will manipulate your emotions when they see you're more susceptible to getting angry or, losing your cool or saying things that shouldn't be said. They will definitely use that against you and eventually make you as a scapegoat in certain situations because they know, hey, this guy will do that exact thing. So
power of self, man, that's, yeah. And we try to teach that where we work at all the time.
Yep.
Like, they're making you do this.
Yeah.
They have complete power over you.
Mm-hmm.
They have complete power. So venting and learning. And one way of me venting is exercise.
Okay.
Exercise. I know last time you said I don't do cardio. I do a lot of cardio.
I didn't say you didn't do cardio.
I do a lot of cardio. No, but it's just, the movement helps.
Yes.
The movement helps that I can, man, in the middle of my workouts, whether it's weightlifting or cardio, I have clarity and so many good ideas come my way. There's opportunities. I'm more optimistic. I get more enthusiastic and I can see things clearly. And when ideas come, I write them down.
Yeah.
Man, I write them down. So in the middle of a workout, if you have mental clarity and something comes to you, write it down.
Yeah.
I've done that plenty of times. Like, oh man, this is, and you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Feel it in the spirit. You can feel every part of it. Write it down. There's something talking to you. You've opened up the doorway for something to come in. Let it in and write it down so you can speak it. And it's helped me a lot with our network, with the podcast, with home.
Well, it's giving you the ability to have those clear thoughts.
Yes.
And then while you're exercising, you're removing that stress and it's helping you kind of go back to a baseline, which then helps you think better.
Yes. Me with running. Oh man. When I say I can feel the spirit when I'm running, I know it sounds cuckoo crazy, but in the middle, all right. So it's been a few times. And even when I moved up here to Wisconsin and me going running, in the middle of my running, I would stop, I would look up and I would be in awe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in complete awe and I would hear all the answers coming to me.
Yeah.
And I would be completely open to it. And it teaches me how to move. So moving in the spirit.
Yeah.
It'll teach me how to move in the spirit. And I write it down like, okay, it's telling me to go here. I'm going here.
Right.
And I would do that. And if I didn't listen, I wouldn't know you right now. I would not know you. I wouldn't know what home was. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know any of the men in there if I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And opening up those doorways for opportunity. And that takes an immense amount of growth.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
And mental clarity.
And I get more mental clarity through venting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when you vent, you clear out so much in your head and you allow more in.
Yeah, you get rid of all that excess and especially the excess negativity that's going on in your head. And you're able to allow yourself to be refilled with positivity and clear thoughts.
You do. When, say for instance, if my room is a mess and kitchen's a mess and I'm so worried about that, I don't have any more space to worry about. I don't have any more space to let anything in.
Right.
Because I'm so worried about that. And say I go weeks without doing it, that just adds up and adds up and adds up. What happens when you clean your house? You're like,
oh, this feels good.
Feels good.
Yeah.
And it allows more in. Mm-hmm. And so I'm constantly doing that. And the more we vent to each other, like I've talked to Sonny. I've talked to a lot of guys in the group about this too. Being in a healthy mental space and having friends to vent to and be more around and having that growth mindset and being able to trust you guys with my intrusive thoughts and just being able to vent, it leaves a lot of room for other opportunities.
It does. Because you're not stuck on certain things.
You're not stuck on it. Yeah, you move past it, and I move past things so quickly.
Right.
Yes.
Makes life so much easier when you're able to do that too.
Yes, it does.
You're not just holding.
I'm not stressed out all the time. My stress lasts for like 5 minutes, and I know what to do when I'm stressed out. I know what to do when I need to vent.
Yeah.
I have 20 men who are a phone call away. I have 20 men who are a phone call away or a text message away, and I have a gym that's right down the street, and I have a journal that stays around me.
Yeah.
I can write it down. If I don't have my journal, I have my phone. I get to write it. I have an idea.
Right.
Talk text. I'll speak to it.
Talk text. Yeah.
For real. I had some of them last night. I just went driving last night, and I had a lot of ideas that came to me, and I was like, okay, I need to speak this because it's not coming from me.
Right.
It's coming from me, allowing those doorways to be open.
You're right.
I have mental clarity, and it's coming through. And I'm very thankful that I'm able to do that. And the more I fix my life and orient my life, the better it is. And venting helps with that.
It does. Yeah.
It really does. The mental clarity from that. And then, so how do you recognize that you need to vent?
I feel like you can always kind of feel it inside. You can
What do you mean?
You can feel that tightness of like, your chest almost, and you feel that stress kind of just building inside of you.
You almost want to cry sometimes.
Yes, and like you feel your thoughts are kind of racing a lot of the time. You're like, I can't just settle down and focus on something because this keeps coming back. It keeps coming back.
Like, what is this?
Yes. And so it's like at that point, it's like, well, okay, I need to talk to someone. I need to vent this out somehow. Otherwise, it's just going to stay on my mind.
Yeah, because you're like, what is going on?
Yes.
What is going on? It could break you.
Yep. Well, yeah, when you're sitting there focusing on the same thing over and over again.
You're letting so much in, and you're not letting anything out.
Right.
You're not letting anything out. You're not learning. And all of that you're letting in, it just builds up. It gets stronger, and it gets strong.
It does.
It can defeat you.
Yeah.
It can break you down. It can turn you into an infant. Serious. I've had a point like that where it can have you in bed crying. It can have you in bed just in a fetal position.
Yeah.
Because you don't understand.
Yeah. No.
And you're not talking it out. You're not venting, but at all you're letting it build up. And what do guys do?
They think they're
right in the freezer. Bottle it up.
Yep.
Real tight. Well,
because they're too strong. They're men. They don't need to talk about it. They don't need to let it out. I'm big. I'm stronger than that, so I can just deal with it.
Absolutely.
Because I'm strong.
Absolutely. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Yes, and man venting. And when it comes to venting, a very, very important part of venting is moving forward.
Right.
Reflecting and moving forward. What does that look like for you?
Reflecting and moving forward is, thinking about what the issue is, what I'm venting about, and then coming up with a plan to either learn from it or to make sure that I don't allow that to frustrate me again in the future.
So should we be learning from our venting?
We should, yeah. You shouldn't. I mean, there's at times where you can just vent just for the need to vent.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's a learning experience involved in venting, because a lot of times when you're venting, there's something that you can learn about yourself.
You are learning about stuff in the midst of venting and reflecting, looking back on it.
Yep.
So you don't do the same thing again, especially if you made a mistake, not even made a mistake. If you're trying to learn something, if somebody did something to you or you don't feel right about something or something's not feeling right to you, when you vent about it, take note.
Yeah.
Reflect on it. Think about it. So you can settle in, and so you do not make that same pattern again.
Well, and also
it doesn't have to be a mistake.
Well, yeah, then also it's helping you grow, which is what everyone should be striving to continuously do, grow. So if you're not writing down and learning from those experiences, what are you doing?
Journaling is a powerful tool when it comes to venting. You get to see yourself like no one else can. You get to see your thoughts. like no one else can. You get to recognize it. You can understand it more deeply, and you get in tune with yourself more.
Well, and also when you're writing stuff down and journaling, you're usually more honest with yourself because there's no one else you're hiding anything from. Let's say you did something that you don't feel very proud of or you feel ashamed of.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one else who's seeing your journaling but you, so you're able to have that honest dialogue with yourself.
Good. When you are venting and you are speaking to a friend and you're calling someone that you trust that can hold that safe space for you,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you let them know, like, hey, I need to vent. Do you have time?
Yes.
And if you need to vent and you need advice and you need guidance through that venting, clarify that with your friend.
Yeah.
Clarify it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been plenty of times I call Levi, I'm like, hey, I need some advice real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm dead serious because can't figure it out.
Right.
And it's needed and it's helped. And I take that advice and I use it.
Yeah, because otherwise, what are you even asking them to do? If you're not going to take the advice, you're just making them almost like your punching bag.
And interrupting when someone's venting and you are taking it, they're venting serious, like that's the main point of their venting. It's not. They haven't reached it yet. They need to vent. They need to let it out. So stopping someone and trying to fix it immediately, you haven't let them go through the process of venting to find the answer themselves, which it needs to come from themselves. It needs to come from self when venting. And not interrupting, not being quick to fix it or hearing something that sparks and trying to interrupt. No, save it for later.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till they get done, and I guarantee that answer will be different.
Oh, it'll be very different. Yeah, because you'll get caught on one single thought that the person may not even realize is a big thing. There's a little thing in their opinion compared to what they're really trying to vent about.
You know how many times that I'm at fault for this in the past, to where someone is venting and something goes off in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can help with that. And I interrupt.
Yeah.
And I think I'm saying the right thing until I hear them venting again. And then I hear them contradicting themselves. And the answer I gave them as a net, and they didn't even mean that.
Right.
I was like, oh, I'm not letting them vent.
No, you're just trying to
Because I'm trying to find answers.
Yeah, you're trying to be the person to find the answers. And it's like, you got to let them find their own answers.
Yes, because letting someone vent and hearing them contradict themselves, hearing them go back and forth, and you went with what they said in the first minute, and then they completely say something, because I've done that before.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, oh, well, this is happening. I'm like, well, you should do this, do that. Well, I know this is happening, but I don't really want this.
Yeah.
Just let them finish.
Yeah, exactly. Let them get through the whole process.
Because I feel stupid when I try to do that, when I interrupt. Like I just interrupted you. No, but seriously, when someone's venting, I feel very stupid when I used to interrupt halfway through because I think I have the answer when that's not the answer because they haven't even asked the question.
Right. No,
Love that.
Just still trying to get it off their chest.
Yes.
Yeah.
You ever heard somebody ever listen to someone vent and they went from one side of the spectrum to the other?
Oh, yeah.
And you're sitting there like, well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, what? That was a circle. Okay. All right. We talked ourselves in a circle. Good job. Yeah. No, that happens. And when that's happening, it's not really venting for anything. You're just going in a circle. And so what's the point?
Yeah. They go in circles, and then it's funny to watch when someone's doing that. And you see them doing gymnastics in their own. I'm going to keep using that too. Yeah. Mental gymnastics in their own head, flipping, and you're trying to answer something for them mid-flip.
Yes, and they're like, because they truly don't want the answer.
They don't.
No.
And they haven't even started to flip, and you're sitting there answering something for them already, and you have the answer, like, nope, that's not even it.
Yep.
It's not useful.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that. I'm guilty to this day. Sometimes I still do it, and I catch myself.
Yeah.
Because none of it is useful, and I'm just casting pearls before swine.
Yeah.
And that matter.
Yeah.
It's not helpful.
No.
But reflecting and moving forward through that venting, because you don't want someone that's venting. I understand that you got to talk about something enough to get through it.
Yes.
But when you're venting, vent for a reason.
Yeah.
Come with an agenda of moving forward.
Yeah. Look for an outcome.
Yes.
Not just, well, I want someone to talk to. That's great, but look for an outcome as well.
We all have those.
Yes. It's like,
We've had those. Oh, man. I need someone to talk to. I get it. But how long are we talking about this?
right.
Weeks, months? And
Right.
It's the same thing, same sentence,
Same
paragraph,
same
thing.
issue. Yeah.
Over and over and over again. What have you implemented since we talked?
Yeah.
Nothing?
Nothing. Then it's not.
So what am I doing here? Now you're wasting my time.
Now you're wasting time. That's all it is at that point. Just wasting time to waste it.
You're wasting time to waste it. So move forward when you're venting. Vent for a reason. Talk for a reason. Do not stay, stagnant?
Stagnant. Yep.
Yeah. Within that, because it just becomes repetitive.
Yes. Oh, and then that repetitiveness, just a downward spiral of continually, and then it becomes the person gets into that thought process of like, it's what about me? And then they're like, oh, I have all these different issues. And it's like, no, the issue is you're holding it all in and not focusing on move. Yes, a way to get past it.
Move on. Jeez, move on. Might be talking to somebody right now. Jeez. But also, an important part about venting is to seek understanding and seek perspective. Because your perspective isn't always right.
No, and everyone has a different perspective.
We do.
Yeah. And so it's always good to like get those different angles from someone else.
I'm learning more and more about that. The more we all work together, the more I see the youth and look at it from their side.
Yeah.
Or look at it from another person's side that works there. Like, perspective is strong.
It is. And it's crazy to think that you could have one perspective of a situation and someone else will have a completely different perspective. And it's almost like if you took those two events and separated them, you would think they were two different things. But they were actually the same event from two different perspectives because it all comes down to like the person and how they see things.
Yes, and I've learned a lot from humbling myself and shutting up and listening. Because there's been times, and this happened a month ago.
Okay.
I was sitting down with some people, and they were going through training, and they were having a conversation. They were talking. And I was listening until I wasn't listening. And I was about to, like, you know that feeling where you have to interject.
Yeah.
I have to.
It's just that, I can't do it.
Because I was like, I think you're wrong. And something stopped me. And when I stopped and listened to it, and I heard the rest of the perspective, I was like, well, shoot. I actually agree with this.
Yeah. Hold on. I didn't let it come full circle.
Yeah, I didn't let it come full circle because I was about to interrupt because I was like, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But when they got done, they made great points. So I was like, oh, shoot. Yeah, Gary learned how to shut up.
You learn how to shut up and wait. Yeah.
And wait and be silent and listen and take it in first. Because you just want to immediately
jump in and be the problem solver.
Yes.
You want to save the day right away. You want to be the hero in everyone's eyes.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No.
It doesn't work. That's not the correct way to go about things. Be open to perspective. Be very open to perspective and seek it when you need to vent. When you need to seek understanding, seek perspective, go for that person. Go for that person that you trust. Go for that person that creates a safe space for you. And it's very needed.
It is.
I love seeking understanding and I love seeking perspective because I know that I will grow from it. And I know that I don't have all the answers. I am not absolute truth and I do not know absolute truth.
That's right.
And so I seek it from everyone. I love to learn from everyone. There are different perspectives and I sit and think. Like I don't know everything.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to know everything either.
You are not.
No.
Some of us think we do. That was my problem way back when, years and years ago. We think we're what? Untouchable?
Untouchable, invincible.
Know everything.
Know everything.
Oh, wow. Man. Is that young?
That's a lot of it is being young. For real, I think a lot of people just think, well, because I'm in my youth and, you're in high school or college, you're learning a lot. You think, oh, because I'm in this space, I know I'm a genius. I am the best at whatever sport. And it's just because you're young and you feel like that, but you're just overthinking your own abilities.
Yes. And when it comes to venting, another part about that is choosing the correct outlet. Holding that inner dialogue, knowing where you need to put your venting. Do I need it? Do I need to take a walk?
Right.
Do I need to journal? Do I need to talk to someone? Do I need to talk to myself? Like, how do I need to properly vent? know your ways of venting. I like to vent in every type of way, but situational awareness within self.
Well, yeah, because there's different situations that can either help with, like, let's say you are exercising to vent. Some situations, it doesn't always work that way.
Yes, and one for me, and this is real. One for me, and this is recent. This is recent as 2 days ago, 2-3 days ago, and I heard some news, and it crushed me. I haven't felt this way in a long time. I haven't balled up in tears in a long time and wanted to break something. So what did I need to do? Did I need to talk about it? I didn't. I need to go and hit. So I went straight to the gym.
Yeah.
Put the gloves on, start hitting the bag, start breathing, letting it process, and it worked its way through. It worked its way through. Am I over it? No. But did it help? Absolutely. It helped me start the process.
Yeah, it does.
Because I wanted to throw a desk. I was like, oh, this is what this feels like. Here's this emotional outburst. I need to put it somewhere. Here's a tool. I need to go hit the bag. I need to go work out. I had a phenomenal workout. I didn't even lift weights. Yeah, shut up. Cardio. Back to cardio.
Back to cardio.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's the thing. There's different ways to vent, and it's picking that right form to outlet that, like walking in nature, going on hikes. I like to use that for like when I'm making long-term decisions or trying to figure out a different path that I should be taking.
You need that clarity.
Yeah, that's the clarity. And then just being around like nature and its beauty, it changes your whole perspective. And that's a great way to me to kind of like, okay, this is the way I should be going.
That, I like the way you put that too, because there's been plenty of times that I've enjoyed the fact that we get to enjoy nature. We get to be in the beauty of nature. And it's brought tears in my eyes a couple of times from just being there and being in all of it. Like we get this vast amount of beauty and we don't take it into consideration and show our gratitude towards it.
Nope. Especially like up here in Wisconsin where we have 4 seasons. You hear the complaints, summer's too hot, the spring is too muddy, the fall, everything drops too fast so it looks plain. Winter's too cold, snow.
I enjoy it.
Exactly. You have to enjoy each of those seasons because, I mean, as you know, like in Florida, you only have one season. Well, summer and hurricane. Yeah. Summer and hurricane season. That's all you got down there, right? So,
and you have to enjoy, like coming up here, moving here with the seasons was one of the best things because I got one of the best moves I've ever made, traveling into the unknown of the seasons. And it taught me so much about my body, my mind, and what I need to do during each season. So I have a steady state of growth. I pay very, very, very close attention to each season so I can have that proper growth. I'm like, okay, here's another opportunity. When winter was coming, I felt that overwhelming
gloom. Yeah.
I was like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
And I utilized it, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. So the seasons are important. The seasons are very important. But back to venting and choosing. Choosing. So be that person for somebody. If you could be that person and you can be that lending ear and you can sit there and listen and not pass any judgment, the amount of growth that comes from that, the amount of trust.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And feeling safe with people. I feel safe with y'all. That's why I say off the wall things all the time.
Well, see, that's the best feeling is to have that feeling of safety and then be able to express yourself that way.
Yes. And in a relationship, is venting important? Is having friends to vent to important?
Yes.
Walk me through that.
So in a relationship, it's important because you're having that trust. So you're showing your partner that you're able to trust them with those intimate thoughts and feelings. And so that kind of deepens your relationship. And then with friends, it's the trust again. It's all about that trust. And so with friends, you build it in a different way usually that doesn't come from that real personal moments. But when you're able to vent, it kind of builds a whole nother layer of trust onto a friendship that normally isn't there.
When it comes to venting and sharing emotions, men out there, share your emotions with your partner, with your woman. It is very important, and it deepens that connection. It doesn't make you any less manly. It makes you more of a man.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah.
Because it allows your woman, if she holds that safe space for you, allows her to get closer to you.
Yes.
And that bond gets stronger. That intimate relationship gets stronger. the spiritual aspect of that relationship gets stronger. And if you're very spiritual, it brings you closer to God as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then sex gets phenomenal. Just us. I'm not afraid to talk about it. If you build that deeper emotional connection with each other and you trust each other.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people forget that trust goes a long way in a relationship, not only communicating, but intimately.
Intimately, yeah.
Can I trust you? Can I be vulnerable?
Mm-hmm.
Can I be vulnerable with you intimately? Can I be vulnerable with you sexually? Like, can I be vulnerable? Can I share these aspects of me that I don't like? And even if it comes to body, can we share this space to where everything is going to be okay? Can I trust you? Can I be in a safe? Can you be my safe space?
Mm-hmm. You know, if you don't have that, then it's not really a good relationship.
It's not a good relationship.
No.
Sex isn't going to be that great.
Well, and there's going to be constant issues because you'll be keeping things that you need to express.
Yes.
Or like, you know, for instance, if there's something that they're not doing, that they're doing something that you don't like, and you want to vent that, say, hey, I don't like this, but now you can't vent it because you haven't been. And so now you have to just deal with something that you're not happy with. And then it causes more and more friction, and that causes separation.
Yes. And if you're in a relationship and you're venting to friends about your relationship, vent in a healthy way.
Yes.
Or allow your friends, no, not allow, but explain to your friends like, hey, I'm venting.
Yeah.
Do not judge my partner. Do not judge anything. This is me venting to get things off my chest.
Don't let life pass you by. Praise the Lord. Love your woman. Feed your kids. Live your life. Make sure you're honest. Fight your demons. Drink some whiskey. Enjoy your family. Praise the Lord. Love your woman. Feed your kids. Live your life. Make sure you're honest. Fight your demons. Drink some whiskey. Enjoy your family. Everything is